Hello everyone, my name is Phil Backus, and welcome to my tutorial on the coding program ScratchJr. This video serves as an introduction to an interactive classroom tool that elementary school teachers can use to help educate their students on the language of programming or coding in a creative and fun way. Based off of the Scratch and Code language, ScratchJr is developmentally designed for children ages 5 through 7 and makes coding fun and engaging for kids. Coding itself isn't just a skill, but a form of literacy. When children are exposed to this form of literacy at an early age, it will definitely work to their advantage with the progression of technology in our society. ScratchJr is an app that is only available and accessible by tablet, both iOS and Android software compatible. For this video, I've enabled my computer access to my tablet to make it easier for me to navigate through the app to properly show just how ScratchJr works. Let's get started. When we open ScratchJr, the home screen will look like this. The question mark will give you a tour of ScratchJr. This right here is our settings, and the home is our home base. So, right now, we will click Home. When the students or yourself do this, we will use our fingers on the tablet, but for this video, I'm using my computer. So we'll click on that. This screen right here is where previous projects will be shown, as well as this plus sign to create a new project. This gear here shows us the settings, and this is just a little bit about ScratchJr. It tells you about ScratchJr. So we'll click the home screen. And I had already started a project here, but for this demonstration, we're going to start a new one. So to make a new project, you simply click the blank page with the plus sign in the middle. When we start a new project, our ScratchJr cat is always the character that students will see first. This character comes standard in every ScratchJr page. If we want to delete this character, you simply hold your finger over the character, and the character starts to shake, and a red X will show. You simply click the X to delete the character from the scene. That being said, this square right here is called the stage of ScratchJr, or where we will put backgrounds eventually. To put a background in, we simply click this picture right here. ScratchJr provides a good amount of backgrounds for students to start off with, but if they'd like to create their own, just simply click this, blank screen, and go to Paint. Here, students are able to create their own backgrounds, whether it's a city, a school, whatever they can think of, they can create. If they make a mistake, they can either go back or go forward. These are different shapes that they can draw, the thickness of their lines. Cutting, they can get pictures from the internet and place them here. Paint bucket to fill it completely one color. A stamp tool. And then once the students are done, they simply click the check. One cool thing about this too is that the stage also can become a grid by clicking this box right here with the grid. Once we do that, we now see that it has accesses with numbers on the sides. This is where we can tell our students where to place certain characters. Our cat is gone, so how would we add a new character? To add a new character, we simply click the plus sign on the left side of our screen. Once we do so, ScratchJr has provided us with a good amount of characters, whether it's children, adults, babies, animals, or their own characters, dragons, wizards, but it always comes with the ScratchJr character cat as well. These faces down here, which are blank, are where the students can take a picture using their tablet and put it in the face hole. That way, they become an interactive character in their stories. Then if we go down here, we see that you can add some scenery, some fruits, maybe a planet, tornado, a barn, school bus, cars, balls, you name it. And if there's nothing here that, if you couldn't find something that you wanted to use in your story, again, we click the blank screen on the top here. We click the paint, and it enables us to create our own characters, objects, whatever you'd like to add in your story. Then, once you've completed that, you simply click check again. To get rid of the grid, you simply click it one more time. If we want to make the screen full screen, we click this screen to the left of the grid. It has full screen capabilities. That way the students can show it as a movie. To minimize it, we simply click the grid again to go back to the smaller version. So let's add a character. We'll simply use the ScratchJr cat for this example. Once we've selected our character, with the orange border showing which character we selected, we click the check, and the character jumps onto our stage. If we click the letters here, we can add a title, and then once we add a title, we can move it anywhere onto our stage. To get out, you simply just click the stage. This right here is an undo button. It corrects any mistakes that you had made. This green flag starts our presentation once we get everything moving. Now that we've covered everything here, oh, I'm sorry. This right here, these boxes to the left show our different stages or scenes. If we wanted to add a new scene, we simply click this blank screen with the plus sign on the right, and it adds a second scene. If we wanted to delete a scene, we simply hold our finger over that particular scene, click the red X to exit or delete it. Now that we've covered everything on the top, let's go to our palette. That would be this middle section of our screen where it shows all of our interactive capabilities and how we will start using code or programming to make our scenes come alive. We'll start with this yellow one. If you are not sure of which block does what, you are able to tap it and it gives a brief description of what it does. So, this one here initiates the actions of our characters or objects. The green flag means that it starts on the green flag. Start on the tap of the character. Start on bumping or running into each other. Start on a message or send a message. Moving on to the blue, these are our directions. We have move right, move left, move up, move down, turn right, turn left, hop, and go home. Home being the green flag. Each of these directions comes with numbers on the bottom, except for go home. These numbers represent how many steps or spaces your character will move. This is where the grid would come into play, but we'll go back to that when we start making our scene. This is where some of the cooler, in my opinion, some of the cooler parts of the story come to life. This is what your character will say. Your character can grow, shrink, go back to normal size. Your character can disappear or come back. Clicking on the green speaker, this is where we can add our sound effects or voices. ScratchJr comes with a pop noise. This microphone here is where you would click to add your own sound or recording. These are kind of more stage directions, so tells you to wait, 10 being seconds. This tells you or the character when to stop. This sets the speed for your object or character. And this is to repeat the same action and the number of times. And finally, for the red block, this tells us when it is the end. And this has us repeat our actions forever. Now, in order for our characters to be able to move, we must move all of our blocks down to the programming area, which is this blank bottom part with the blank ScratchJr character. So now that we've covered all the areas of our ScratchJr board, let's build a scene. So to start, we have our cat. Now, let's say we want to tell our students, let's have the cat go to the farm. We will tell our students to click the background, look for which one looks like a farm. It says farm on top here. Once we've selected farm, click check, and our cat is now on the farm. If we want our cat to start at a specific part of the farm, this is where the grid would come into play. We tell our students, let's have the cat start on a certain axis. So, for this example here, we're going to have our cat start on, let's see, let's have him start at 8 on the y-axis and 4 on the x-axis. Y being the vertical and x being the horizontal. Since this is for children ages 5 through 7, we will tell them the y-axis is the one where the numbers go up and down, and the x-axis is where the numbers go left and right. So, like I said, for this example, we'll start on 8 on the y-axis and 4 on the x-axis. Your students will... Oh no, I deleted the cat. Let's bring the cat back. I apologize. So the students will drag the cat with their finger down, keeping it at 8 and 4. So you will know the students have done the correct movement of their character when you see an 8 in the y-axis and a 4 in the x-axis. So now that we've got our character where we want them, let's get this show on the road. For this particular tutorial, we are going to have our character start at the green flag. So I will hold my finger over the green flag and drag it and drop it into the programming area, which again is this blank area right here. Now let's make our character move. We will click the blue. Let's make them move forward. I'll click the forward, snap it right onto the green flag. That is one thing that I find pretty cool with the ScratchJr app here, is that it shows programming almost as a puzzle, figuratively and literally. So if you put the right pieces of the puzzle in the right order and give them the right commands, then your character can do anything you'd like it to do. So now that we've added the move to the right block to our puzzle, you will tell your students, let's have our character move 5 times. You'll tell your students to click the 1 or tap on the 1. That's where you'll see a set of all the numbers on the side here. And let's say we want to make the cat move 4 steps to the right. Students will click 4. They'll know they've done the correct job when they see the number 4 in their block. Simply tap on the programming area anywhere in the blank area to make the numbers disappear. And now we have successfully told our character to move 4 spaces to the right. Seeing as I didn't record any sound for this demonstration, we will skip the green block, but we will go to the purple block. This is where we will add our dialogue. ScratchJr comes with hi as a preset dialogue conversation. So again, the students will simply hold their finger over the block, drag it onto the programming area, and snap it into the move right block. We'll keep it at high for now just to keep it simple. Again, we're skipping the green block. And let's go to our stage cues. Let's have our cat stop. After he says hi, we'll drag the stop, snap it onto the hi. And finally, we will end our story by adding this red block right here to the end. So, if your students have done this successfully, their blocks will look like this down in the programming area. By looking at it, you should know that it starts on 8 at the y-axis, 4 on the x-axis. The green flag will tell us that it is going to start by moving 4 spaces to the right. After doing so, the character will say hi and stop. And that will be the end of this scene. So let's click on the green flag. And our character has moved 4 spaces to the right, said hi, and stopped. We know this is correct because now our axis on the y still the same at 8, but now on the x-axis, we see that it moved from the 4 to the 8. This is also where we can teach our kids or review with our kids about math. 4 plus 4 equals 8. ScratchJr, in my opinion, is very beneficial. I've had the privilege of seeing this being used in a second grade class at a school that I'm interning at. And the kids love it. They learn a lot about technology, the vocabulary, the terms, and they have a fun time doing it. So I would highly recommend ScratchJr if you are an elementary school teacher or school that is interested or curious as to how to introduce their students ages 5 through 7 on technology or how they were able to use technology and have fun while doing it. This concludes the video tutorial on ScratchJr by me, Phil Backus. I hope that this was informative, and I hope to hear from you soon. And that was my actual cat.